Greetings, beloved family, beloved light, beloved love. Yes, we are live. And Era Light here again for a new episode 3 of In Oneness. Calling upon you, Nirika family, calling upon brother Moon, brother Sun, sister Moon, calling upon all the guidance, calling upon Gaia, the higher realm, to assist us tonight in this beautiful venture with a very, very special channel. We're going to meet her very soon and tap into the magnitude and the magnificence of the healing art she's been creating and co-creating with the higher realms and with other channels. We call her Didi or Desi, and we know her as Dea LightCodes. And we're going to learn more from her about her magnificent human experience. We're going to learn from her about the connections she's built to the higher realm and how she is able to co-create this her beautiful art that is healing not only her but also all the souls coming in touch with her frequency and her energy. And definitely as together we are sending this healing and this mission that we're on to the collective, merging back with our light, becoming the love we are. Before we go on with the In Oneness tonight, I would love to ask you all, whoever joining us on YouTube or Facebook, share Love and Light by sharing the link to this incredible episode. We am so looking forward to share this sacred space with Didi. We call her Didi also, and learn more about her incredible art. And also, I have a very small request from you, beloved ones. Please send healing energy to Bella and Leo, my little companion, my little babies. They have been also processing some heavy energies, and only love can heal and expedite their recovery. So I really appreciate that. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube, and looking forward to invite Dea LightCodes into the screen with me. But meanwhile, I would love to share with you the intro video for the In Oneness, and I hope you will enjoy the poem written by me. And it's coming from that space of the heart to all of us. And meanwhile, take the time to share the link. I'm going to share it with you. Start a watch party and share it across all your platforms to spread love and light. And you dawn upon me, upon you. And you dawn upon me, upon you. Our beloved Gaia, our Mother Earth is ascending, and so are we. Brother Sun, Sister Moon, hold my hand, and together we leap. Our multidimensionality we realize, and we rejoice. We are sovereign whole again. You dawn upon me, upon you. In oneness, you and I we gather. Brother Sun, Sister Moon, in the circle of light, meet with me to remember ourselves, one heart, one family, one light, one humanity, one earth. In oneness, we remember, I am all is I. In oneness, the God in me honor the God in you. In oneness, we expand beyond the multiverse. Our star cells we meet And we remember the origin, the light, the source. In oneness, once more, with ourselves and the bridge we crossed. In oneness, we become the remembrance, we become the Akash. We just be in oneness. In oneness. In oneness. Neye rehete verete en neye neye hete ewel newete neye. In oneness, one family, one heart, and we welcome into the space the beautiful Dea LightCodes. Sister, when you're ready, please put your microphone on, and I would love to thank you from the bottom of my heart to taking the time to be with us tonight, sharing your light, sharing your love, and your beautiful healing art that I'm going to share soon with the family of light. And I'm so blessed to have you with me tonight. Didi, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Heart greetings, Sarah, and thank you for having
me. You're welcome. And Oneness was just a beautiful venture that started in with this lockdown and the shift of energy. And it just, as I was telling you earlier, when the message comes, when the guidance comes and we act upon it, it's bringing the deepest healing to me as the individual and as Era, who's doing energy work and healing work, and to the collective. And it has been a great opportunity to meet incredible souls who had come on those episodes and share their magnificent human experience. And the only aim of it is to share our human experience so we can shift the timelines of humanity. Realize that we have come here to experience, and being in this human experience is magnificent on its own. What do you think of that?
Well, you said it. Yes, part of the reason that we have all come here is to grow, expand, and to come back to oneness and have the realization of our, come to rediscover our pure essence, which is consciousness.
That's wonderful.
And many of us
how
have
did this
come
whole
with them.
journey start?
Sorry, I interrupted you.
I'm saying, how did this beautiful realization have come to you, and how did it shape your journey?
Well, the whole journey starts when you basically open your eyes here, but the accelerated growth started approximately 3 years ago when I started expressing myself through painting. I've never had a lesson in my life to draw. However, I just bought some canvases and paint, and I started painting. The light codes came later. I was receiving for at least 2 years prior an inner calling and an inner guidance to visit Tibet or Nepal. Neither of those happened, but synchronistically another journey was aligned. So I visited Cambodia, and I visited Dragon Mountain one of the days, and there is a stupa, a Buddha stupa there. So the first code that I channeled was beside it. I just saw it. Prior to that, I've been having some, how can I say it, experimentation with energy healing. My third eye started opening actually since I was a child. However, this was suppressed by, trying to fit in society, being not being different, etc. So this was the first time that I saw a code, and I wrote it down with a pen on a paper. Then more codes arrived, but the initial stage was like, it was more sacred geometry, not the light codes as the written light language. And then I started receiving more codes from when I was connecting with the paintings. But the really accelerated part of my journey started when I met Ascension Pathways, Yogi George and Mathilde, his wife.
Yeah.
I have the honor of them being my mentors, guides, teachers. And then it amplified even further when I met Siu Tuxel, healer and channeler. So on one of the missions that they organized, Sacred Mission to Egypt, this is when actually I started channeling light language and light codes even more. Yeah, it was a process because initially they looked like just ticks on a paper. They were not that defined. Now, if you zoom in one of my channelings, it's literally, there is so much information. They're so defined. It's like you're seeing an alphabet, literally. But this was the initial stage of basically light codes and light language coming into my paradigm, my awareness. And it was quite a journey because this is not something familiar for the 3D mind. It's completely new. Very few people still are channeling light language and light codes. They're becoming more and more as we are accelerating on our path to ascension. But it was, yeah, it's still relevantly new. So it can be quite a challenge to accept something like that.
It comes to you. So it's basically some energy, some frequencies that comes into your consciousness, and you just receive it and translate it on canvases or into your light codes. Actually, there are a lot of people may not be familiar with what is light codes and where it comes from and how it comes and how, you know, and even though we are seeing a lot of it right nowadays, but how can you just simplify it more?
So I will talk about that, but first I want to address the first thing that you mentioned in your question, which is they just come to you. It's not just they come to me. When you channel, a big part of that is basically, a big part of any channeler is discernment and learning how to discern what you bring and what you channel. So I always, before I actually start channeling, I open my channel, I do a meditation, I connect to Gaia and Source. So it's a process. So I make sure that the space that I'm in and my channel is pure and the transmission is not interrupted. Light codes. What are light codes? They're simply the expression of light. This is the simplest explanation. They're energy patterns, sacred geometry, sound waves, colors, frequencies that the whole universe emits. Yeah, so that's what light codes are.
So we receive them basically in our consciousness, and they get translated through our mind and our visualization or our visuals. You know, is this how it works somehow?
So for the written light codes, the way they're perceived is through the eyes. For the light codes that there is a verbal channeling of light language, it's through the ears. So the ones that I channel, they are through the eyes. What was the rest of the question? Sorry, because it's so much information coming through that the system went.
Keep with your flow. Also, I will address my question. I know when the channel is totally there, open.
So what happens is, by perceiving them, by simply looking at them without making too much effort, but entering a state of allowance, they start interacting with you. And the beauty of them is that the 3D mind cannot make sense of them. And they bypass the 3D mind and they interact on a soul level, consciousness level, and DNA level. Scientists say that, or at least claim so far, that 75% of our DNA is dormant. I beg to differ. Those light codes, by bypassing the 3D mind and interacting on a soul level and consciousness level and DNA, they activate this dormant DNA so we can start tapping into our infinite potential and recollect different abilities and gifts that we have from previous lifetimes, or I don't like to call them previous lifetimes because we're multidimensional beings that basically have many existences in different forms at the same time simultaneously. So I call them fractured selves. So here my fractured self as a human is the Desi. Sorry. But I have, so in my initial journey, when I started going deeper and deeper into channeling light codes, part of the initial stages of channeling was tapping into different aspects of my fractured selves through my higher self. So I've recollected a being from, for example, abilities of from Sirius, quite strong connection with Arcturians, Lyrans, Sisterhood of Rose, Christ consciousness, etc. Yeah,
they are all just a reflection of us in different realities, different timelines, at the same time in those parallel realities that are playing. As you said, we're not that past, we're not the future, we're just happening simultaneously, which is very beautiful, and what a realization it is.
And those different existences also interact with each other. They influence each other as well. So when you're calling for a higher timeline aligning, you kind of call for all of them to align into one. When you're shifting one, you're shifting the rest. That's Absolutely. What I'm trying to say. When you're accelerating, growing, and expanding, everything is connected. We're all individualized expressions of the whole, the one. Coming into oneness
with the whole, and that's we're coming back to in oneness. That's actually the aim of it, to realize our magnificent present existence at this multidimensional level, and it just takes allowance and just allowing and surrendering, tapping into that frequency, and it will open up all these layers and dimension within you to connect with all of yourselves and bringing yourselves back into oneness. That's so wonderful. I saw your channeling, your paintings at Ascension Pathways a couple years back when I visited there, and I was deeply connected with the Archangel Chamuel painting. That one, actually, he had been at that time before I even went to Dubai to meet George and Mathilde. I just have been receiving him a lot. But again, you know, with my with our 3D mind and our you know, the shift that's happening so fast, sometimes we really don't want to acknowledge things. But that night when I was just sitting all the way in the back, my eyes were just fixed at that painting, and that's the only thing that I was feeling and receiving. And then as George started with the channeling, he was like, "Hey, we've got Archangel Chamuel in the room with us." And that day, honestly, your painting and his just words brought that trust within me. You know what? Trust whatever coming through. There's no more playing around in this journey. It's just coming. You just take it as it is, without like bypass that mind, because whatever is communicating at different dimensions. And that was, to me, 2 years back, is kind of like a big eye opener. So I really want to send big thanks to you and to George and Mathilde. Yeah. Amazing how we do come in each other's life at the right time.
The channeled art, basically, you can perceive them as portals to the energy that is captured there, the frequency that is captured there. It can be one being, as in this case you mentioned Archangel Chamuel, or a complex of different frequencies and energies captured there. But usually these days, because as I grow and expand, the channelings also progress, the frequencies that are present in all of them are the honorary Elohim, Seraphim, Cherubim, Archangels, Ascended Masters, Sisterhood of Rose, Brotherhood of Light, etc. And then someone will come predominantly or no, or it will be just the mix of that. And how wonderful. Imagine placing a canvas like this, which is a portal to this frequency. They hold the frequency, don't need to do anything, and they completely can transform the space, the energy in your house. And if you place a couple of them, they kind of create the grid which interacts with each other. So it's like a net, because this empty space, what we perceive, is not empty at all. It's full of energy. It's like a web.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a web, yes.
Exactly.
And
so that's actually was my question. Your art and your healing light codes, are they available for us to add them to our homes? As you were saying, they create this web of healing and creating grids within the space. Are they available where, and we can get them, and how we can connect with that? I would love to add these notes in the chat.
Well, people can go to my website, which is www.dealightcodes.com, or my Facebook page, which has the same name, and they can have a look at all the services that I have to offer. This is one of the ways. I also have developed through the guidance and my connection with the higher self and higher realms, individualized personal channelings. I do personal session in which I connect my higher self to the person's higher self, take them to 0 point, and then receive the light codes that are needed. As I said, the whole universe, it's made of sacred geometry and codes. So are we. As we have the physical body, we have the astral body, energy body, our aura, energy centers, or the 13 gates, as I call them, or the 13 chakras, mental body, emotional body, etc. So Merkaba, also part of our light body. So I infuse, I don't know if you would like to bring the images one after the other, and then maybe I can explain.
Absolutely, yeah, I would love to share all the pictures, and Didi can tell us a little bit about each one of them. And
yeah, because it's, if they have a visual, then they will. Well, this was channeled, these are Arcturians, and I'm in the middle. It was done during astral travel course with Yogi George. So I received quite large feedback. If you zoom in the channeled art, you can see how many light codes are in there. So an upgrade for my astral body was done, which translated into my fractured self here in this reality as well.
So wonderful.
But
and the
this is about this one.
Just every single color and detail and code, it's a portal of its own.
And yes, later on, when I came to more and more grow my channel and expand and discern which frequency I'm channeling, I noticed how different the light language is from, let's say, I know when it's an Arcturian being, it's completely different light codes than, for example, if it's Christ or Mother Mary or archangels, and also with the frequencies that are coming in. There is a quite big distinction.
I'm sure. And then you as you get the upgrade on your energetic body and your frequency, it reflects into your physical presence and on your mental state. I think this is also a very important aspect of connecting to your higher self, and to allow these activations to happen within our bodies.
So yes, very true. So basically, a growth and expansion happens through processing fears, limitations, and through triggers. When something like this occurs and you clear certain limitation or fear, you're ready to expand further, more divine light to enter your whole being.
May I ask you also, let's say we have been accelerating our journey, receiving more of our light, getting all these healing that happens in all levels. Why do you think? And it's happening now.
Why do I think? I don't understand the question.
Because a lot of people, I know, let me tell you, because a lot of people, they keep asking me personally, where is that taking you? Sometimes I just tell them, you have to experience it to feel it. Where is all this? You talk about activation, light code, the transmissions, healing. Where's that taking you? You're still here. You're still in this body. You're still going through some churning. You're still getting upset. You're still getting emotional. So let's say I'm asking you this question. Where all this would take us?
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
And everywhere.
And
the journey, the point is not in reaching somewhere and a certain destination, it's in the experience itself. And as we said in the beginning, we are remembering and coming to remembrance of our pure essence, which is consciousness. When you talk about triggers, fears, limitations, this is all 3D mind. So the more and more you shed from that and you clear that, you will not cease to be human. You will still have your human experience. However, your presence changes, your energy changes, and so does your fabric of reality. It translates, everything starts first within. So if this is not enough, for who is it not enough, I would ask? And who's going where? Who is so curious to go where? That's a question I would like to throw out there to the audience to contemplate on.
Yeah, exactly. It's the experience that matters, to experience our presence at all multidimensional existences.
Correct. And
this is
something that's coming up as well is like the reason that I also my channelings develop on accelerated rate, not only because I was persistent and determined and committed, but also because I relaxed the need to know, the need to see, the need to whatever. By doing so, you're completely immersing in the experience, and you are allowing the experience. You're releasing the resistance. So many people are stuck with like, yeah, but I want my, let's say, third eye to open, and I want to be able to see, because this need to is the resistance that basically is stopping you from unlocking the gift. Because all of us, we have those gifts. And it's a point of, even if you would like to open those gifts, some people don't. Some people are happy just to live a certain way that they have established and are not interested in this kind of expansion. Yeah, but which is also okay.
That's also perfectly fine. That's also perfectly fine. I love this one of George, Mathilde, and the new baby.
Yes, this is Celestine. So basically, we connected during one of the transmissions. She came and she requested this portrait of the family of light. She called it. So I did that for them. Yes.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Yeah.
This is an energy mandala activator for accessing omnipresence through unconditional love and the higher heart. If you zoom in the channeling, you'll see so much light codes and sacred geometry. That's the thing about it, that when it's from far away, you don't really see them, but if it's in front of you, you start to discover so many details there.
Are these paintings on canvases?
As per request, I can, print them on canvases, yes, or a poster. Some people have, like, when I've done a personal channeling for them, they've printed them even on a t-shirts. They put them as a screensaver as well, because the more you observe it and you interact with it, So basically, it's a different level of interaction with the light codes. One is just placing it and by observing it and doing simply nothing, just bathing in the frequency. But if you incorporate them in your daily meditation practice, so the important thing is the same as you do, you prepare yourself for meditation, you settle in, you quiet down, you clear your space, you open your channel and you just observe it. And then usually some of the signs that the connection is done is like goosebumps, tingling of the crown, etc. And then you can go, because most people meditate with their eyes closed, you can, the initial connection is important, and then you can just close your eyes and go into your practice.
And the frequency received, would it be the same to each person looking at the mandala, or every person will feel it differently, will connect with it differently?
So, of course, it will be different because all of us are at a different stage of our own journeys. So everyone receives whatever is needed for them at the, I don't like the words level because it brings another thing, but at the capacity that they have at this moment. It cannot be all the same. We're all different. So everyone is in a different journey, and everyone is expanded in a different way, or accelerated in a different way. So whatever is needed, this is what exactly they receive. And the less and less...
Even let's say I come...
Sorry, I just wanted to add
No,
this.
go ahead.
It came very strongly. The less and less the 3D mind
I
gets
know.
involved, the better.
And when I'm saying that if I come today to this mandala and I meditate on it and I come back maybe a month or two later, it depends on the frequency that I'm at. So every time you connect with this art, with the healing art, with the light codes, the frequencies that you receive and the healing that you receive is at a different level and dimension. So it's never fixed.
This mandala is to activate, it's a portal, it's an easier access to accessing omnipresence, true unconditional love and the higher heart. So this will be activating your higher heart and your heart chakra. And the more and more you use it, the more and more openings will occur. Yeah, it's the gift that keeps on giving, basically, because it's a never-ending journey. Touching on that point again.
I'm sure it's a never-ending journey, and the only way in this journey is to spiral inward. And beautiful realization are coming through, a beautiful co-creation with the energy and with the frequency of the higher realm. This one stole my whole heart, my whole beingness. The minute I saw it on your page, it's fascinating.
So this one I channeled during energy alignment transmission in Ascension pathway. We do advanced practices there every Monday, or every second Monday now. So basically, we activated 3 mini gates above our higher gate, above the crown chakra gate. And during the meditation, what I saw was these 3 mini gates coming into one sphere of plasma and merging and moving. And then we moved it to the heart chakra, and then more happened. But this is what this represents. There is, the complete channeling, I think, is the next picture.
The next picture, yeah, I'm getting there. I wanted to ask you, the color that comes through and the combination of color, it's also part of the channeling, or you connect with it to choose the color that can go along with it?
Every color holds different frequencies. So what's emerging here is basically this sphere started drawing in all the frequencies from all the chakras, from the 13 gates. 13 gates, they correspond to 13 dimensions. So basically these are the colors. So it became like a rainbow frequency. And then you'll see it in the complete channeling, it's there.
Yeah. I'm getting to the second one. I'm still, my questions, when you receive that channel, you receive the colors as well?
Yes, so I receive in a different way, different things. So, for example, I might receive an image, I will receive a sacred geometry, I will sometimes see the codes, or maybe nothing of the above. I will see either with the 3D eye, sometimes I see energy, even with my physical eyes. It will be a snapshot, a picture, and sometimes I'm fully immersed in the channel. I'm like in oneness with all. 3D mind is completely gone. No movie theater has happened to entertain it. And then I just go to the drawing pad and I start. And then the 3D mind, once I'm done with it, is surprised by it as well. So it's just, as I said before, I've completely relaxed the need to. Once I open my channel and I fully immerse in the frequency, 3D mind is barely there. This does not mean that I cannot stop channeling. I can. I can still do the normal functions with the physical body that are required. But yes, I'm trying to explain how it happens.
Yeah, I'm trying also to get the picture a little clear for our viewers, because around this kind of art and these connections and frequencies, there's a lot of questions, and I just would love to tell everybody that it's just everybody has a potentiality. It's a matter of allowing and giving permission without the need and the stress to just wanting to manifest something. Just be in the flow with the energy, and all the all that's coming through, it's coming out into canvas or painting or drawing. It's been so fascinating. A lot of stories that I've been hearing from people who have awakened to all this magnificence of their existence. They have experiencing painting and channeling and writing and light codes and singing even without having higher connection to it. Is the potentialities we all have. It's so beautiful. I'm already like my so much melting in codes already.
And something
Yeah,
about
this
what
one
you
is
said,
the
that
complete.
people have a lot of questions about them. We said initially in the beginning that the whole universe is created on based on sacred geometry and codes. So that's nothing new even to the 3D mind, correct? Like everyone has heard, or most people have heard about the flower of life, egg of life, Merkaba, sacred geometry, 5 plutonic solids. The whole universe is built on sacred geometry. So why is this then strange? And for who is
Exactly.
strange? The DNA is based on codes. Sorry.
And the more light we are receiving and connecting, the more the awakening within our DNA system is happening, within our body, it's happening at all levels. This one is so fascinating, Didi. This is very beautiful.
Thank you, Dea.
Would you please tell us a little bit about it?
This is from the same session, basically. From the same session, it's just that this is the complete channeling, what you're seeing.
It's wonderful.
Which one is the next one that you're having? Oh, this is a very powerful one.
Channeler.
This is the Siu Tuksao. I did this channeling during one of his transmissions, an energy alignment. He channels archangels and Elohim. You can zoom in and see all the light codes. This is a full-on blown download received by them. And
I can see already. I can see already. It's yeah, I'll see the angels and so fascinating.
Very powerful sessions and transmissions he holds, and the energy is undeniable.
We can see them here in your art, so that's an evidence of the powerful energies that you are receiving, and actually allowing yourself to be in co-creation with this energy.
Correct, and also
you allow yourself to be held in this.
You were saying receiving, the more we're receiving light, the more we're expanding. I just wanted, something is coming through in regards to just to say that, for example, there should be as well a commitment and determination and a daily practice in order for someone to continue that journey. Not just sitting and waiting for something, to come from above and enlighten us. But the same way we brush our teeth every day in order to have beautiful teeth, there must be some cleanliness of the soul, if I can say it this way. I hope that I'm able to communicate what I'm trying to.
A daily practice to keep us in that alignment within, to keep us with that connection to the earth, to the source, to the high ground, to our highest self, so that when this kind of downloads come, we are the vessel to receive it and express it and expand through it. Of course, it doesn't just come all of the sudden, and even when it comes, sometimes all of the sudden we'll just feel so overwhelmed with it that we kind of take a step back. And I know I'm talking from personal experience, till I, as you said, learn to discriminate between me being the vessel and allowing myself to be the vessel and me creating. So it's just this discrimination is very important. When you open your channel, you become that vessel and you are just in oneness with every aspect of you. So we can't claim the doing.
It's a creation. So basically, the more and more you're in alignment, and you take care of that, the more you move from reactive state to a conscious creator. And when you're a conscious creator, it's endless. And it becomes beautiful because you start manifesting everything, you're creating everything. We are all the time doing that. It's a matter of whether you're doing that consciously or unconsciously. And by unconscious, I don't mean that you have fallen asleep. You're still awake, but you're in your unconscious behavior, which is connected to the egoic mind.
We had been in separation for so long from ourselves, and when we build that connection within, it's just that alignment that takes place, and then just with connecting to that, you come back to your center, and yes, you become a conscious creator. This is the angel.
This is something that you closely described just now, coming into oneness and connecting, like a deeper connection with the higher self. I'm not necessarily trying to portray that we all have wings, but why not? In one of our multi-dimensional existence. But yeah, this is how it came through. And very often, like, it's just the energy is so strong that it can start to look like something to the 3D mind, just trying to make sense of it. But this is how strong the energy was coming through the portal behind. So, and yeah.
And definitely, no doubt that we had been in that angelic realm.
You can see what's happening there with the crown and the energy emanating from the hands. And
I can see that. And the hand. Yeah, exactly.
If we only come to realize our potential, our abilities are limitless.
That's exactly the gift we have within. Tapping into those potential and putting that focused energy, like the effortless energy, I call it, like you are just into it, just melting through it, and it's gonna open all your channels to your highest presence. I noticed you're using a lot of this beautiful blue tonation.
You noticed very well
your code.
Yes. So basically, when I connect to the higher realms, the highest frequency, so this is translated through the 3D mind, so it might not make too much sense, but I'll try. The highest frequency available, the highest quality of frequency and energy comes through with this electric blue. But also electric blue, you can connect it to Sirius, cherubims. But this is coming from, they call it in one of the transmissions when I started, when this kind of quality of energy started coming in my channelings, royal blue of higher realms, something like that.
The royal blue of the higher realms. That's fascinating. So your channelings are visual. Do you receive also a verbal words that comes along with it, or only this light code as visual?
Sometimes it has not developed fully yet. I've also tapped into verbal channeling. It has not developed yet. So I'm still in the process of expanding that. And yeah, so the way I open my channel, I fine tune it or attune it. And it's with a lot of oming and sounds. It's kind of dialing up a phone, a frequency. Yeah, it's a process. But the more and more
I noticed that.
Sorry, the connection is cutting so we're on top of each other. No, please go ahead.
No. I was gonna add to the sound, because also I noticed with me the sound bowls, the singing bowls, are that tuning that takes me to that frequency where the channels open and I do receive. So yeah, I actually had been working with singing bowls for years, but just recently when this combination starting to happen?
Mm-hmm. You're asking me when this combination started to happen? Through the process of, so once I started once it became, the meditations became part of my daily routine, different things started unlocking. So it wasn't like one day I just decided to it was a gradual thing. And then it developed into a whole practice, my own practice, like channeled from my higher self. And coming into, I don't know what's the next one, but the personal channelings later on, I'll explain how it developed as well. So being fully immersed in your channel and allowing to receive is the key once again. So how can I say it? The higher realms and my higher self started training me, or I would receive it as an information or an inner knowing, and I'll start trying it out. And then it's just, sometimes it's like message after message telling me what to do, and I do it. And then I see the benefit of it, and I continue with it. And then something else will come up, and I'll add it to my practice, and something else like this. It's like picking up apples from a tree. This one I did when it was 08/08/2020, Lionsgate. Yes. So I connected, and this is what I received. Behind it, this is the portal of Sirius portal. And it's just very powerful.
It is indeed.
Yes. So if you would like to connect with some lions, they're very highly...
Feline self.
Sorry?
The feline self. That's wonderful. It's wonderful.
This was not done on another session or a transmission. It was just me connecting and receiving. All right, so we're coming to the personal channeling. So it comes in 3 parts. Trinity. Initial stage when I started receiving, and it was so different from what's come to become now. It was everything in one canvas, but then I was guided to do it in 3 separate, because here there is so much encodement. It's still fascinates my mind. So this is the so-called egg of life. So when an embryo, when there is a conception, the cell splits into 2, right? And then multiplies to 4, 6, and then 8. And from 8 goes 16. So that's why it's called the first original cells. And the egg of life, or the egg of life holds your blueprint. So infusing here, you can see the blue and the pink. So that's divine feminine and masculine. So one of the biggest parts of our existence as humans is to bring divine feminine and divine masculine in balance. So we're infusing this on a core level, on a DNA level, on your blueprint, and shifting into a higher timeline. It is surrounded in the highest frequency sphere and sacred geometry of Elohim, Seraphim, and Cherubim. All the channelings are wrapped nicely in these highest frequencies. Then the next one is, if you can move to the next one. Yes, that's basically the Merkaba light body. Some people don't have it even activated. So this is to activate and upgrade and align and the Merkaba light body. And then the next one is, so that's the second part of the channeling. And then the third one, it's something called the diamond light body code. So in the middle, if you zoom in, you're going to see something in the frequency, which is like white diamond light and the golden yellow light. This is a personalized code, so it's different for each person. Also, all the codes are different for each person, specifically custom to them, received by their from their higher self. So it's an accelerated access to your higher self and to Mother Gaia. Then you have the 13 gates, which is basically the 13 chakras. So that's why all these different colors, all of them, they have different colors, yeah. Then it's wrapped in it's aura expansion. I don't know if you've seen some of the pictures that they draw, Buddha, for example, they have this thing around them, which is like, how you call this, triangles on top. So the more and more you get enlightened, the aura structure, the sacred geometry of the aura changes as well. So it kind of looks like this. So this is basically codes infused there to activate that. And once again, it's wrapped in the Trinity, Elohim, Seraphim, Cherubim, light codes, and sacred geometry. So that's in a very quick nutshell how it looks like receiving a personal channeling. So we're infusing light codes in nearly every part of your being or fractal self here. The initial stage of that is usually people report a lot of clearing of limitations, fears. Even like I had a lady who told me that certain objects in the house were breaking without anyone touching them, just because they were holding a lower frequency of vibration. You know, certain relationships or connections to people might cease to exist as well if they're not in your highest best. Changes of jobs, whatnot, we've had it. So the initial stage is just clearing of everything that does not serve you anymore. And then it starts the alignment and upgrades, and which is a never-ending process.
So it's a highly recommended to connect with Dea LightCodes and get your own personal channeling and get your own codes painted for you, so that to assist you and help you on this accelerated journey and take you to that space of oneness within yourself. This is such a powerful art. This is powerful. On the personal level, how do you feel yourself shifting, accelerating just with every piece of art that it's co-created with you and your higher self and all fractal of your being?
Wonderful. Every single thing that goes through my channel, it kind of leaves an imprint there. So it becomes part of my frequency. So it's a beautiful process to observe and see. I've changed quite a lot for the past 3 years, which I sometimes wonder how this happened as well. But it's beautiful, and I have a different perception and outlook on life. Before I used to be very reactive and enter the emotions and dwell on things, when now I've shifted my perspective of basically that every single thing is a co-creation, whether it's with another human being or, you know, you yourself, and everything is of our service. So I don't perceive anymore like something as negative or positive. Things just are, and they're there to serve us. So if something, what we call as humans, negative comes in your paradigm, this is in order, it's just mirroring something within you that you need to clear. So it's there for your service. I feel wonderful. I've recently came into full-time being of service, and I have been so productive, and I absolutely love it.
Mm-hmm. This is, of course, when you connect deeper with your highest self and be of service, you reach this stage of immense expansion and love. I'm really blessed to have you. Sometimes I'm losing my words. That the energy is so strong, and feeling just by looking now at the healing art, the codes, and so I'm just feeling it within me. It starts spiraling into different aspects of me, and I'm so blessed and grateful to you. I just want to tell everybody on Facebook, if you have any questions for Desi, please leave it in the comment and I can share with her. And we have 5 minutes to the end of our session, so quick with all your questions. And if you'd like to share one of the most like interesting channels that you know that you've experienced, and that you feel it was meant to happen, to shift something for humanity that was meant to you, through you, to the collective?
Meaning one of my channeled art. I think all of them are
Yes,
equally important, because they touch different different aspects, yet they're all holding these high frequencies. So I really can't pick one. And something what you mentioned in the beginning of this interview, when you said that when you enter the space of Ascension pathway and you saw the Archangel Chamuel, over there's at least 20 or I think maybe 30 different canvases of mine. But this is exactly how it happens. So let's say your connection at this moment with Archangel Chamuel was very relevant to your growth and acceleration. So they call you out. So you don't need to ask with the mind, like just simply look at them and see how you feel, and they will call you out, whatever is needed. Or whatever you have to connect
That's
with.
true.
Yes. Less 3D mind.
A different level. That, of course, that 3D mind keep asking all the questions, and I just surrender to the frequency. Yes,
Sorry.
please.
Sorry, because it's cutting. If I can offer another analogy with music, for example, because I understand all the questions from the 3D mind when it comes to light codes, but if you relax it for a little bit and just, like, for example, if when you go and you listen to different kinds of music, you don't need someone to tell you what to listen to. You attune to the one that resonates with you, right? You perceive it through the ears, and then it interacts with your soul. So the same thing here. You observe something, and you see how you feel. You perceive it through your eyes, and then interacts with your soul. This is how you can basically discern and see what's for you, or if it's not, then it's absolutely fine as well. We don't all love watermelon, for example. I'm just making
but
it
we can
small.
love it at some time in our life. We can just love it at some time, you know. It's just when there's this this resonance, this frequency, the matching frequency within you and whatever you are perceiving, is this when this merging happens. And just by looking at the at your light codes, it's taking each one of us to that space within the expansion within ourselves. I really appreciate your light, your love, your presence, your healing art, and taking the time to be in our sacred space. We're almost toward the end of our session.
I'm saying right back at you, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Eureka family, thank you for being a beautiful supporters. And we are growing. The family is growing by the day. And the more we are connecting from that space of heart, and our light attracts the light of within me, within you. So it becomes one sacred space, and this is how we are envisioning this whole Mother Earth basking in our light and our love. We are into this accelerated journey, enjoying the journey and realizing our magnificence. And today with Dea LightCodes, beautiful accelerated frequency been showered upon us to shift timelines through remembrance. And yes, through remembrance, we become the Akash, and we become this presence and this magnificence. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear sister, for this wonderful co-creation. It was wonderful to be part of.
I'm looking forward. Thank you.
Thank you.